John's story, forced return. John woke up from his nap upstairs in his friend's small apartment, not far from Cologne, Germany, where he was squatting, to people talking loudly and people saying, "Police! They're here again, oh!" This had been his fear since he arrived in Germany in search for better opportunities, so that he could care for his aging parents back home. The fear of being arrested, or worse, deported. He jumped off the small sofa as his friend ran in and said, "Police, don't come!" So he ran to the bedroom and to this day has no idea how he fit in the tiny space under the bed. His friend put dirty clothes and shoes there and hid John. Then he went to sit down in the living room and waited. A few minutes later, there was a knock on the door and it was the police. They asked for John and said that they knew he was there. They looked everywhere. They even checked under the bed but couldn't find him. One of them stayed back while the other one went out and returned with a dog. The dog began to sniff around the room and came to where John was hiding under the bed. Sniffing, growling, and getting closer to where John laid, shaking in fear, staring at the dog's bared teeth. The dog latched onto John's arm and pulled until the officers reached down and pulled him out from under the bed. They told him that they had orders to take him to the station, put him in handcuffs, and took him to their van downstairs. He was wearing joggers and a t-shirt. He was put in the van in handcuffs and driven for 7 hours straight to Munich airport, where to his surprise and devastation, he was deported to Nigeria. The plane was full of men like him, some older, some younger, some crying, others cursing, while some remained quiet. When they arrived in Lagos, they were fingerprinted and interviewed by immigration officers, then asked to leave. He had nothing. No money, no phone, nothing. One of the guys had a phone and allowed him to call his brother, whose number he had memorized. His brother arrived at the airport within 2 hours and took him away. After being in Nigeria for 4 months, John felt like he was going mad. He had been in Germany for 5 years and was returned without any preparation. Even now, only his brother, whom he also lived with, knew that he was back. He would never let his mother know. The shame of returning like this, empty-handed, was a disgrace that he would not share with her. Even his dreams were filled with horror. All the money he had saved were hidden in a shoe, in a suitcase in his friend's room in Germany. That friend was no longer answering his calls. No doubt he had found the money. He definitely found the money. Although he felt bad, that's life, he thought to himself. So he declined all of John's calls. John had been unable to find work since he returned to Nigeria and was struggling with depression. He felt that if he received a little help, he might survive, and maybe things could be okay again. So his brother and some friends told John that there were organizations offering reintegration support to return migrants, and they encouraged him to go and ask for help in finding a job or setting up a small business. John listened and went to 3 different organizations, but they all turned him away with the same response. He was a deportee, and they did not offer support to people who were forcefully returned. When John left the last office, he sat outside the building, thinking, wondering what it would be like to go to the 3rd mainland bridge and jump from there into the lagoon, thinking about ending his life. This highlights how reintegration governance fails deportees like John. He faces shame associated with deportation and is often criminalized and stigmatized as a deportee, leading to being deemed undeserving of formal reintegration assistance. Despite this, John received crucial social and financial support from his brother, including a place to stay. However, his situation underscores the ongoing need for both economic and psychosocial support during reintegration.